Well, it is good to be together today on this Easter Sunday. I feel like Easter is always such a wonderful celebration. It's such an opportunity to just feel some joy, even in the midst of kind of challenging moments. For me, Easter Sunday is always a gift. It feels kind of like a big party to me. I get to see a lot of you all, and we're all kind of here at the same time, which is a lot of fun, and I see genuine happiness on your all's faces. It's really kind of like the prime Sunday of celebration for Christians. We declare, Alleluia, Christ is risen. We can feel the joy in the room. And you know, the resurrection of Jesus, I think, ought to shift our perspective and bring some joy to our hearts. Maybe even put a smile on our face sometimes, because it really is a big deal. I mean, we read this story, the kids got to see, imagine the way it changed everything for them. At the same time, I know that as we sing and celebrate and declare our happiness and joy, I know that many of you in this room are carrying a lot of heavy things right now. As a pastor, it is an honor of mine to get to walk with a lot of you through a lot of painful things that you're experiencing. And I know for a fact that a lot of you are going through really, really hard times right now, dealing with grief, anxiety, exhaustion. As a people, we are witnessing war and violence and a difficult economy and even oppression. Last year on Easter, after the service, I talked to some folks, and some people shared with me very honestly and told me that it was a little hard to be in church on Easter in 2025. Everyone seemed very happy, yet at the same time, the world was on fire, and people we loved were hurting. You know, it's hard to be in a room full of joyful and happy people when you feel really low, right? When you feel afraid, when you feel overwhelmed. Some of us are going through really hard times, and we're walking through some darkness. So as we celebrate this morning, some of y'all may feel like crying. Some of you have already cried today. Most of us understand this tension between joy and sorrow. We talk about this a lot at our church, that we want to be able to bring our full selves to church when we come together. If we're going through good times, we can celebrate that. If we're going through hard times, we want to honor and acknowledge that. I think there is space for both this morning. And you may not know this, but the Easter story in the Bible has both. There is joy and there is sorrow. I want to read the resurrection story in John 20. It's similar to what we heard today in our story with the children. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked you, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it that you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will go get him." And Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. What I want to share with you is very simple and very brief, but this message has really impacted the way I think about Easter. Mary went to the tomb full of grief. She was really sad. She was in pain. Her best friend and her mentor had been killed by the Roman government. She was overwhelmed with grief and at a loss for what to do. While she was at the tomb, she cried. She cried. On Easter morning, Mary was crying. Then she looked up and she saw the resurrected Jesus through her tears. Jesus found her in her place of pain. He spoke her name and gave her fresh vision and hope for her future. I heard N.T. Wright say something once that I shared with you all a couple of years ago, but it profoundly impacted the way I think about resurrection. He said, Mary on that day saw new creation through her tears. Mary saw new creation through her tears. Many of us are here on Easter Sunday singing of resurrection and joy and power, yet maybe we're barely hanging on, or we're carrying heavy loads of stress and burden and worry. Maybe some of us just feel a little dead inside. And my prayer is that today we can get some glimpses of new creation, even through our tears. That we will find hope and beauty in unexpected places. That we will see Jesus. That we will see Jesus. And as we see Jesus, we will be able to see the world differently. We'll see ourselves differently, and we'll see one another differently. My hope is that throughout this morning you have seen glimpses of heaven. Maybe through our music, through our just wonderful and beautiful children of our church, through fellowship downstairs around the breakfast table, maybe around the fire outside at the sunrise service. All of this points to a beautiful and good and redemptive God. And my hope is that even in your pain and your suffering, your anxieties, that you are able to see a glimpse of God's goodness. That you will be able to see new creation through tears. Our pain is heavy and it matters. Lately, I can't be an honest pastor if I get up here and pretend like everything is okay. Some of y'all think I'm a downer. I apologize. But I know what I'm facing. I know what you all are facing. I know what people, particularly vulnerable people in our communities, are facing right now. And we have to acknowledge what's going on. We have to be real. We have to keep our eyes open to both the hope and the horror that we see in front of us. And on Easter, it's an opportunity for us to remind ourselves that there is hope, because sometimes it feels hopeless. Our pain is heavy and it matters, and at the same time, Jesus is powerful and He is good, and I believe Jesus is with us through it all. Just like Mary, my hope is we can see Jesus this morning, even if for you His image is a little blurry because of your tear-filled eyes. We can journey through this hard life with courage and with hope because we know the resurrected Jesus. We know the resurrected Jesus. How did these first Christians experience so much hardship? Many of them stood face to face with death, and they were willing to keep moving forward. They did it because they believed Jesus rose from the dead. And they believed, too, that if Jesus rose, they, too, would rise. And that gave them courage to face their present and their futures unafraid. My hope is now, in this volatile time in which we are living, we can hold on to hope because of the resurrection of Jesus. The hope, the same hope that Jesus gave to Mary so long ago. Jesus offered Mary peace and hope in her moment of pain, and Jesus is here with us today, I believe, offering you all the same. I just want to simply declare today that Christ has died, Christ is risen, and Christ will come again. Amen.